Howdy! I hope you're having an amazing day. Silver Trade here again with another video. I've got some very spicy charts to show y'all, and some huge buys just came in today as well. But to start things off, XRT is at 676% short. And yesterday, GameStop's utilization was at 95%. Today, GameStop's utilization is at 84%. And just a quick reminder, when GameStop's utilization is at 84%, that means that 84% of all lendable shares are currently being borrowed by short sellers. And we need GameStop's utilization to be nice and high if we want to see GameStop run like it did last year, from about $10 per share up to $80 per share, while utilization fell from over 100% down to zero almost. Mooncake posted this on X, showing how GameStop is really respecting this trend line ever since about last August. Please remember, none of this is financial advice, we are not financial advisors, and this video is made for entertainment purposes only. GameStop as a company and their fundamentals have rapidly improved since last year, so I really think that we're at the bottom of the channel right now. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see GameStop get back above $25 per share really soon. And the stock respecting this trend line pairs amazingly with the VoEx. The VoEx graph shows how much of a stock's shares are being traded over time, basically how active or locked up the float is. A high VoEx means there is a lot of trading, and a low VoEx means fewer shares are moving, which can signal accumulation or tight supply. We've only seen the VoEx get this low a few times. Back in 2024, right before the May run, it was this low. And then of course back in 2021, before the historic sneeze. The fact that GameStop is retesting that trend line while the VoEx is this low is very exciting. And pair that with some huge buys that came in today, very exciting. There is some strong circumstantial evidence that Ryan Cohen just bought another 500,000 shares. Today there was an order for 102,000 shares, 117, 117, 117, and 47,000. All of those added together brings us to about 500,000 shares, or $11.6 million. We won't know if this was actually Ryan Cohen or not for a couple of days. He must file a Form 4 with the SEC within 2 days of his trade. I've been talking for a long time how I think Ryan Cohen is about to buy more shares, and so this perfectly makes sense if it's actually him. And he probably did this to show his confidence in the company after his recent interview on that one channel, I forgot the name. A lot of people were unhappy with Ryan Cohen's interview. They say he sounded either high or maybe drunk, but I think this is completely wrong. He sounded perfectly normal to me. His speech pattern was right on par with what I was expecting. He's going to be very cautious with every word that he says because he knows that there's a ton of nerds like myself that are going to look at every single word. So he has to be careful with what he says. In the interview, he talked about how he doesn't need day traders and GameStop holders could be holding for centuries, and a lot of people really didn't like that. Ryan Cohen was also asked if he and Roaring Kitty had a relationship. Ryan Cohen didn't really answer and said, "You should ask him." And just a reminder, GameStop is now trading lower than before Q2 earnings, where they disclosed a $166 million profit and a 31% beat on earnings per share. People also weren't too fond of how patient Ryan Cohen is. He said that they would be willing to wait for years on that treasure chest of cash they have for the right opportunity. And this is exactly why he's a billionaire and wildly successful. He's not going to just go with whatever the first thing that jumps in front of him is. He's going to be patient and wait for an amazing opportunity. And let's not forget, he's hands down the largest shareholder of GameStop. He wants the stock to go up more than any of us. And you already know this, but he has done an amazing job so far. Total assets year over year have almost doubled. Back in August of 2024, total assets, they only had about $5.5 billion. August of 2025, they are at $10.3 billion in assets. Yeah, GameStop. You know, that failing brick and mortar. And I know I say this a lot, but they still haven't shown us how much they're making off of that PowerPacks website. The overhead is going to be very minimal, and I think it's going to more than double GameStop's revenue. And that is going to very positively impact the stock price. I am more excited for their next earnings report than I have ever been. I'm so excited to see where GameStop goes from here. I bought calls today for June of next year. And remember, this is not financial advice. I would be blown away if we don't touch at least $30 per share before June of next year. Blown away. Yesterday, Ryan Cohen posted, "I challenge Greg to a Mario Kart race." And then Greg, of course, replied, and he said, "Just turned on my N64. Come on over." You might remember, but I totally forgot, Roaring Kitty actually posted about Mario Kart as well on March 23rd of 2021. And then 3 days after Roaring Kitty posted that, Archegos defaulted on their margin calls. Could Ryan Cohen be hinting at something? And then later on, Greg posted, "Who you putting your money on?" with a silly picture of Greg and Ryan Cohen playing Mario Kart. And seriously, thank you a million if you've made it this far in the video. I'm really trying to get more videos out, at least 2 or 3 per week like we used to. So if you wouldn't mind, please hit that like button if you'd like to see more videos from me. And I just want to say right now, I'm not always going to be right about every stock call, but if I were you, I would seriously consider turning on my post notifications. I called out Open Door at $1. I called out Neo at $3. I called out Kohl's the day before it jumped to $21 per share. And most recently, I called out BYND when it was at $1, and yesterday it topped out at about $8 per share. And a lot of the people who watch my videos have been able to capitalize on those calls. And if you're curious of how I played BYND, I bought most of my position at about $1 per share. Once it reached about $1.80 per share in the same day, running about 80%, I sold 2/3 my position to lock in a 30% profit and let the rest run. And then it started dropping pretty hard, so I pulled the rest out at about $4.50. And I'm keeping my eye on it, and it could definitely keep running, but I really want to play this safe. And just a reminder, China banned Citadel Securities for close to 5 years for algorithmic trading related to short selling in 2015. China has done more to protect its markets from Citadel than the United States. Let that sink in. And I love how GameStop is doing this as well. A GameStop customer came in to trade his graded Pokemon TCG cards for credit towards his Switch 2. His cards included a PSA 10 2021 Charizard VMAX and a PSA 10 2019 Tag Team from Unbroken Bonds. In total, that gentleman traded in 5 Pokemon cards, netting him about $682. And our favorite, Richard Newton, has been active once again on X. Recently he said all models are wrong, and he also posts a lot of Bible verses as well. And GMEY's outstanding shares went from 25,000 to 625,000 within a day, or a 2,500% increase. You can see it right here, shares outstanding 625,000. Every GameStop YouTuber has talked about this time and time again, how they create fake shares and ETFs and then make synthetic positions to hold GameStop down. This huge jump in outstanding shares really shows that they're doing everything they can to hold it down. Start researching, start studying, start working out, start reading the Bible. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is exactly where you should start.
Just do it!
Please, just try and get 1% better every day. And at the end of the year, you will be so happy that you did.
Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Don't let this just be another YouTube video that you watch and then you forget about completely. Please get 1% better today. It's not too late.
Do it!
Don't wait for New Year's and then promise yourself that you'll start being better. Start being better right now. You are meant for so much more than you can possibly imagine. Whatever you're thinking, think bigger. I love you and I hope you found value in this. God bless you.